So last night I had this strong intuitive hit before I went to sleep. I was just lying in bed. So I need to share this with all of you, okay? And this is an analogy of how to view manifestation. It is so insightful, and I had to wake up. I literally had to go to my phone and write this in the notes, okay? And this is to view manifestation as like a train ride, okay? Let's say you were going from point A to point C. Point C is where your destination is. It is where your specific person lies. It is your dream reality. It's your health, financial abundance, wealth, career, dream career, whatever it might be. Whatever you're manifesting, that's at point C. Point A is where you are currently right now, okay? So you are getting on this train from point A. But along the way, there are going to be multiple different stops. There's going to be a point B. Okay, so point B is just part of the unfolding journey process. When you are on this train ride, you know what your destination is. You don't get on a train, you have your ticket, you know what it says on the ticket. It's for point C. You get to go all the way to point C. You're not going to get off earlier at point B, right? So what these stops are is literally your 3D experience that you're experiencing right now. So when you are getting on the train, that's point A, and then you are riding along this train and you're going through life, and then you see something that's unfavorable to you, let's say. Let's say your specific person that you're manifesting is now with a third person. Or maybe they're texting you, but they're not with you. They're still dating around. Or you just got fired from your job. And you're like, oh my gosh, like how is this going to lead me to my dream career? I'm not even going to get promoted in this company anymore if I just got fired. That's point B. Now, are you going to get off at point B when you're on this train ride and knowing that your destination is point C? Are you going to get off before you've actually reached the stop that you intended to be at? No. You're going to continue to stay on the train. You're not going to hop off the train and stay like, okay, well, I guess point B is my reality now, and then just dwell in this reality and live in that reality. No, absolutely not. And if you do, it's okay. Because what's going to happen is the train is going to come back around, and all you have to do is just hop back onto the train. Because some people do. They dwell in that reality for a little bit at point B, which is not what they want, right? It's just part of the unfolding and journey. And then maybe they stay there for a little bit. And then they hop back on the train. And then they get to point C. And then they get off the train. And that's where the manifestation is. Now, we can take this train analogy even one step further, okay? Let's say you hop off at point B. And then you realize, hey, you know what? I actually don't want to go to point C anymore. I want to go to point D instead. Right? So maybe you hop back on the train and you go all the way to point D, which is even better than point C. And maybe it bifurcates. Maybe the road bifurcates into one goes to point C and one goes to point D, right? But the train is always going to go to all the destinations over and over. It's going to keep looping around. And you get to choose wherever you want to go. That's the wonderful thing about this analogy, is that you, no matter what stop you get off at, you can get back on the train and it's going to bring you to your final destination. And along the way, you can choose. If you no longer want to go to point C, if you want to change what you want and you got clarity throughout your life, whatever experience you have, you're like, you know what? I don't really even want this desire anymore. I want something even better. Or maybe you realize you were deserving something even better than what you thought or originally wanted. You can change where you want to go. You can change. You can be like, hey, you can pay for a ticket. It's like, hey, I don't want to go to point C anymore. I actually want to go to point D or E or F, right? And you can change that while you're on the train. You can do that. You can just stay on the train, or you can hop off, get another ticket, get back on. It doesn't matter how your life takes you. You can still get back on this train. That's your manifestation. This is your life. This is your journey. But don't get off at a stop before it is your destination. Because that is not how it works. I mean, you certainly can. If you want to stay and dwell in the point B, that's not your preferred. You can certainly do that because that's your choice. But you always have the choice to get back on the train and get to your destination. Just understand this with the train analogy, okay? The most important part of this is that if it is not your stop, if it is not showing up for you in the 3D reality that you wish to be in, it's not your destination. It's not your time to get off. And even if you do end up getting off for whatever reason, it just attracted you and you just got off, you can get back on the train and continue to stay on the train until it gets to your destination. Stay on the train until it gets to your destination, until it finally comes into fruition for you in the 3D reality. And it will unfold for you naturally in the most perfect, wonderful way. You can be served first class on this train. Okay, you are riding this train to your final destination. You know that you're going to get to that destination and it's going to have all the bells and whistles. But along the way, enjoy the journey. Enjoy your first class meal. Enjoy the first class service. Okay? Enjoy your nap. Just go there. So that is how I like to view manifestation. Okay? Just as like a train ride. If it's not your stop, don't get off.